Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we're here outside of Darwin. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to cover a lot of important information. But first, I wanted to start outside and show some of the great work and progress we've been making here. Do you all remember our modular building and what it looked like before? Now it is beautiful, and you could see that we've spent a lot of time. And not just that, little details like the door that you see here. And of course, we're going to upgrade Mr. Bermudez and his desk here. So we've actually, worked on a number of things. I'm going to put my mask on because we're entering the building. Anyone who enters the building should put on a mask. And as a matter of fact, we are actually doing registration, Chromebook distribution, and textbook distribution as well today. I want to give you a preview of what you'll see when you come here to Darwin. You're going to come up the stairs and you're going to enter this way. We are doing a 4-step check-in for the registration as you come in. We sent links for different documents, but if you do not have a printer, you could definitely pick up some documents here and socially distance and fill out your paperwork over here. As you can see, we're well ventilated and we're checking in, and you're going to turn in your forms here with Miss Barrios. Come over to station 2, turn in and your student fees with Miss Sotelo. Hola, Miss Sotelo. As you come in, we're gonna go over the technology forms and the procedures. And once you come over here, Mr. Salgado will have any questions that you have, any answers in regards to any questions that you may have. So that's step 3 of step 4. We have a piece of technology that we've been investing in over the last 7 years. And because of that, we are a school that is ready to distribute technology to each and every one of our families.
Transitioning into my seat, I'm no longer outside. I want to share my screen with you. Vez que vamos enfocando en comunidad, consistencia y comunicación. And with regards to community, we have scheduled specific Leader in Me time for our students. Dentro de nuestro horario, en cada salón tenemos minutos para Líder en Mí, y la razón es que queremos crear comunidad con nuestros estudiantes. The reason being is because we want to put a focus and time and schedule community building time every day. Consistency, we have scheduled small groups that will remain throughout this remote learning period. And these small groups approach is something that you'll see in pre-K through 8th throughout our entire continuum. Hemos programado grupos pequeños en todos los niveles dentro de nuestra escuela, empezando en preescolar y terminando en octavo grado. Y con eso pueden ver que vamos a tener grupos pequeños dentro del salón en cada nivel. And we have done so because it is developmentally appropriate. We know that children cannot be in front of a screen for so long. Hemos programado grupos pequeños porque es apropiado para el desarrollo. Y lo que significa eso es, no queremos que nuestros estudiantes estén enfrente de la computadora por muchas horas. Lo que vamos a hacer es, dentro del horario, van a estar enfrente de su maestra, van a tomar tiempo independiente y después en grupos pequeños va a regresar con sus maestras para preguntar cualquier cosa o aprender más en grupo pequeño. Finally, communication. We have scheduled specific office hours for each grade level and each teacher. And so what we are doing is we're going to utilize our entire staff and assign them smaller groups as well, so that you will be hearing, from the most part, from a staff member on a consistent basis weekly. Lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a asignar diferentes grupos de estudiantes a diferentes miembros y empleados. Y con eso, la expectativa para nosotros es que ustedes reciben una llamada de alguien de la familia Darwin que reciben una llamada al mínimo de un vez dentro de la semana.
Number one, our schedule means that we're an 8 to 3 p.m. school. That does not mean your child is online or I am online the whole time. That means that during the 8 to 3, we're going to have asynchronous. That means activities, independent work, possibly recorded videos, for me to work independently as a student and family. Número uno, el día consiste de 8 a 3 p.m., pero no se preocupen porque no es todo el día frente a la computadora. Número dos, significa está dividido entre tiempo en vivo, que es synchronous, que es el amarillo, tiempo independiente, que es el blanco, asynchronous. So then the final takeaway here is the best way to prepare for success is to understand your child's schedule and how it's divided between live teaching, synchronous, and independent work time, asynchronous. Y finalmente, para estar preparados, es asegurarse que entendemos el horario lo mejor posible y ayudar a facilitar ese aprendizaje con nuestros estudiantes, porque todo es posible si lo hacemos juntos.
Sandy asks, what about kids with 504s? How are they going to get support or help? Students with IEPs or 504s are going to have their minute requirements met. The special education diverse learner requirements are still the guidelines are still being fleshed out by our special ed teachers and our case manager. La pregunta de la señora Sandy fue, ¿cómo vamos a servir nuestros estudiantes que tienen 504s o IEPs que están en educación especial? Y lo que vamos a hacer es esperar que nuestros maestras regresen la próxima semana y con eso vamos a dar oportunidad para nuestros estudiantes, nuestros maestras para ellos revisar, pueden revisar el horario para incluir los minutos y los diferentes servicios en el horario, y el horario oficial va a salir el jueves que viene de la próxima semana. The way specials will be broken down, specials are our arts, PE, music classes, those types of classes. They are an hour-long period, and so traditionally if you were here in school, you would have them for an hour long. The way it breaks down during remote learning is that hour would be broken up into half, in which 30 of those minutes will be asynchronous and 30 of those minutes will be synchronous. 30 of those minutes will be live and 30 of those minutes will have students work independently. Una diferencia este año es que el clase de los estudiantes que van a seguir va a durar todo el cuatrimestre. The difference this year during remote learning is that their assigned specials class will be assigned to them for the whole quarter, rather than them switching every day to a different specials period. Good question. Ms. Lynn asks, will we be able to meet our child's teacher on Monday when we register? And the answer is no. Because we will be engaged in our professional development time, and teachers officially come back Monday. And so we need to flesh out a lot of things, being that they are just returning Monday. One of those things being the small group assignments, in addition to a number of other things. I will say this, I am planning next week to have our teachers have some sort of time with you all. And so pre-K orientation was yesterday, virtual, and then kinder orientation will kick off, and first grade orientation are already in the works. Please be on the alert for that as well. The white section is independent time. I would say the cream section is time in which it will be split up between independent and live time. The bright yellow time is what you'll see. The teacher will be live with the whole group. Your child will be placed in one of 3 groups where for the majority of the time, that group will be independent. But in the schedule here, for example, group 1 at 9:40, the teacher will circle back to group 1 and join them in a live small group session. So quiero explicar esto otra vez. Podemos ver que el amarillo es cuando la maestra va a ser vivo con todo el clase, y después el color cafecito a las 9:40 podemos ver que los estudiantes, la mayoría de los estudiantes en ese tiempo va a ser independiente, menos que el grupo número 1. A 9:40, el grupo número 1 va a ser apoyada con la maestra en vivo en grupo pequeño. Durante ese tiempo, los otros 2 grupos van a ser independientes, van a trabajar independiente. So just to reiterate, we are scheduling small groups for our teachers so that your child is not bound to the computer screen at a certain time all throughout this entire morning from 9 to 10:40. They will be asked to join between 9 and 9:40. And then when they're in their small group, they will be joined by their teacher. So please pay attention to that. This is what we're fleshing out next week, which group your child will be in. And then looking at kindergarten and first grade, you will see the amount of breakdown minutes here. Yellow is required FaceTime. Group, depending on your group, is when your teacher will rejoin you. The gray lunch period is when they are at home independent. So from 11 to roughly 12, they will be independent. And then they will ask to join the entire group during this yellow highlighted time. Moving on to second grade, you will see the transition between asynchronous white time and synchronous live instruction in yellow. And we intentionally broke it down in this manner so that students are in and out and not bound to the computer screen for a lengthy amount of time. And then moving on to third grade, you could really see how we tried to approach in our overall approach to this, live time, independent time, live time, independent time, hybrid of the 2. As the children get older, you will see that they do have a higher amount of required minutes, but we still try to give them some break time, some